Welcome Thursday morning. Okay, today is national, or sometime this week, is National Cookie Day or month or year.
I span it from 1 week before to a week after.
It's National Cookie Year. Cookies for everyone.
No, there's a cookie day. It's cookie day. Chill, man. Yes, it's a cookie month. But that's besides the point because
I made these. I made up the recipe. I used a couple different recipes and conglomerate and didn't measure anything and smashed them all together. And then you have pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. That's only 4 cookies in the recipe. So,
can you look on the text and find out which days we're talking about today?
So, comic books. As a child...
Bless you.
Jeez.
What else? Oh, comic books and punctuation. So, Punctuation Day was on Sunday, September 25th.
Put an apostrophe if you're saying you are your. And
Okay.
don't put an apostrophe if you're talking about your.
Possessive. Like you own it. It's yours.
And if you're saying their, THERE, it means a place. And their, THEIR, means it's possessive. And their, meaning THEY apostrophe RE, means they are. Use them correctly. And 2, 2, and 2.
Unless you're learning English and you have a hard time with it at all. Okay, so National Punctuation Day, the annual holiday, celebrates the proper use.
I'm sorry.
This annual holiday celebrates the proper use of punctuation marks.
Apart.
Proper use, like anybody does that anymore. Such as quotation marks, ellipses.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sure that we use it properly, though, because we learned in school how to use all this crap. The comma, the colon, the semicolon, the period, the question mark, and the exclamation point. I'm pretty sure I do use all of them correctly.
Okay. Also, people don't know how to use commas correctly either. And 2, and 2, and 2. TOO means something in addition to.
In addition. Like, I want to do that too. It's TOO, not TO. Oh, and also...
Or if you're saying that is too strong, it's TOO.
I'm going to taste this.
It's extra strong, not TO, TOO.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 means 1, 2.
Pretty good.
I know. They do... We overcooked them a little bit. I overcooked them.
Yeah, it's her fault.
It's delicious, though.
True.
And this is not a pumpkin cookie recipe.
Cookie robots.
None of the recipes I used were I just threw in some pumpkin in there.
Actually, squash.
And these cream cheese on top.
Pumpkin
That's one thing I will say.
Did you know, kind of off topic, but sort of on topic, that your canned pumpkin that you use for your pies and stuff like that, not actually pumpkin, it's Hubbard squash. So, don't tell me that it's gross for me to use whatever kind of squash I feel like it.
This isn't pumpkin. It's one of those big green, I don't even know what kind
Hubbard.
of squash. Yeah, it is pumpkin then. It's the pumpkin.
Kind of pumpkin.
So, comic books.
Hold on. I'm still on a rant on punctuation. All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
This has nothing to do with punctuation, but it's related. Lose and loose are different words.
It's a true story.
Loose means it's free-flowing and mobile.
Not tight. The opposite of tight.
The opposite of tight. Lose, you lost something. You can't
LOSE.
You can't say it's to lose. That
doesn't make sense.
And not just that, but you spell it TOO. To
LOOS.
LOOS. All right.
LOOSE means loose. LOSE means lose.
We're not, grammar and spelling Nazis at all.
Nope. And I'm really not that bad. But when you're using their incorrect me, that's the one, and your. Those two get me by far more than anything else. Especially on social media, because it's like rampant. It's rampant.
And people are forgetting how to write. And like the whole cursive thing, people don't know how to read a cursive anymore, which is terrible because we kind of need to be able to in order to read the USS
Or
Constitution.
like the journals of our grandparents, because my grandma, she wrote in cursive, and I love her handwriting. Very classy.
My nieces and nephews, I'm gonna teach them how to write in cursive just so they can read in cursive.
Like their parents aren't going to teach them.
Oh, that's true. My older
Anyway,
sister.
so I bet you the people
and
who wrote
her.
the comic books use proper punctuation.
She's
most
also
of the time.
the mother of some of my nieces and nephews.
That was the point. The moms aren't going to teach them. So I didn't read comic books, but guess who did? My favorite comic strip, Calvin and Hobbes, read them. So that's where I can tie it all back together because I love Calvin and Hobbes. I'm sort of obsessed. In fact, I have the $150 collector's set that's in hardback, and there's 3 volumes of them, and it comes in a nice little box for all of them. And then I also have most of the actual books that were put out because they were in the bargain bin at some bookstore, and I'm like, this is abomination. I'm glad that it's in the bargain bin because then I don't have to pay as much for it, but why are people not buying it? It's Calvin and Hobbes! Anyway, so they read comic books and they fought over them, and like Calvin would be like, I'm gonna go to school, and then he'd come home and be like, Hobbes, you've been sitting around reading my comic books all day. So
they would fight over the comic books. So I have a little bit more. I'm a little bit more of a nerd than her. She's a nerd, some sorta, in somewhat.
Some ways.
More than the average person. But I'm like, I read manga, and for those of you that don't know, manga is an Asian.
Most of people.
Yeah, is an
like,
Asian comic book.
That's the one I like.
So they are comic books. They're not comic strips. They're comic books. And you
comic
read them,
strips are better. I read Garfield as a child. Calvin and Hobbes.
And you read them from the back to the front. And I've read quite a few of those, and I think they're great. And the artwork is really great.
You gotta have blue hair.
And
your mouth has to be ridiculously huge when it's open
and
tiny,
super tiny when it's closed. That's from HomeSideRunner.com, speaking about Strong Bad, speaking about Japanese cartoons.
Comic books. Japanese cartoons. It's the same.
Manga is a Japanese cartoon. It's just in book form. And then I read other comic books like here, which is, like Spider-Man, Superman, DC, Marvel. There are people that will argue that one or the other is better. I think they're both great. I think that they both have strengths, and they definitely both have weaknesses.
Another thing that Calvin and Hobbes did is if they ever tried to go on an adventure or run away from home or anything like that, they took comic books and made sure they had those, and then they would take like 1 meal and 5 comic books. So that was a higher priority to them than the food. And Calvin being 6, I'm not really sure how he read the comic books, but maybe his mom was on top of it.
All I know, one thing that I think is interesting is that Marvel, they kind of have the Norse god thing going on with the whole, Thor and whatever, and Odin and whatever. And then there's Wonder Woman, which is one of the Greek, I don't know, she's a demigod, I guess, so she's God. She's a god, she's a goddess, but it's like Greek and Norse. I just always thought it was kind of interesting where did they not cross over or anything like that. So I just but I did enjoy reading comic books, mainly DC and Marvel. Those are my big things, and manga.
So tell us about your cookies. Mm-hmm. Make some cookies, and if you want to make pumpkin, and if you want me to, I'll post.
Oh crap!
I'll try and post an estimated recipe for these pumpkin cookies because they're actually really good.
So National Punctuation Day was Sunday, September 24th. National Comic Book Day was the same day as National One Hit Wonder Day, which we already celebrated. Not on the day of, but we celebrated it. And then National Comic Book Day was that day, Monday the 25th. And then, what was the other day that we're celebrating today?
Cookies.
Oh, cookies.
Cookie robots.
Cookie robot.
I don't know. It doesn't specify any type of cookie. So I was actually making chocolate chip cookies, and then I had
No, it doesn't
pumpkin
specify the day.
cooked
I mean,
squash,
the type of cookie.
and I was like, we should add pumpkin to. Actually, I think it was her idea, but either way. So tell us about your cookies. Tell us your favorite comic strip or book.
Comic
or
book.
If you like Calvin and Hobbes.
I bet you they have a
thumbs up.
comic strip day. Today's not that day, and neither was the day.
And we'll talk about Calvin and Hobbes again for that day.
We will. But it still had nothing to do with comic books except for the fact that you could tie it in loosely that he read comics. She didn't. But hold on. I need to find out the day that the cookie day was. The National Cookie Day was apparently later than all the other ones.
It's
actually,
like the 2nd or something, isn't it?
Oh, do you think that it was actually this week? Maybe I passed it. National Homemade Cookie Day. No, I think it was before. Oh, it was Sunday, October 1st. That's why we didn't celebrate.
We're so
it
close.
We have to fit the weekend things in there too, so that's why we're a little bit behind. But now we've caught up a little bit.
Thank you for watching.
Please subscribe, comment, like, share with your friends. Bring your friend and watch it with your friends. My aunt did. She watched it with her niece.
With her daughter.
Her daughter. My niece. Wait, no, she's not my niece.
She's your cousin.
It's weird. I don't know. She's young enough because she's a little girl. She's young enough to be my niece. So I thought that, whatever, she's my cousin. Very young little cousin, cute little cousin. And so they watch it together. So
We love seeing your comments.
we love it. Thank you so much. And may adventures be in your cards.